good friend Senator Bill Nelson for his introduction. Thank you for coming out tonight. I am honored to be here to voice my support. Very briefly, there are 4 reasons that I can tell you in a way no one else can, because I've been there. Number 1, the philosophy. Number 2, the policies. Number 3, the ability to make a decision. And number 4, the ability to execute that decision and make changes in people's lives. So, the economic plan is better. The education plan is better. You listen to young people. You read his plan. If you're willing to do community service, it doesn't matter how rich or poor you are. You're going to be able to go to college, universal, everybody included, no ifs, ands, or buts. And his health care plan is light years better. And I can tell you, there are people in this crowd, I know there are, who've lost their health insurance. There are people in this crowd who have children with autistic conditions or other disabilities that need help, and nobody's helping them. And we're living in a country, last week, 1 in 8 Americans are not going to be able to afford their cancer drugs this year. America drops to 29th in infant mortality, and we're spending more than anybody else in the world. They want to defend that. Barack Obama wants to change it. He's got a good plan to do it. You should vote for him. That's what a president does in a crisis. What is right for America. And you know, after this election, there'll be a lot of rough times ahead. You know it as well as I do. You have got to have a president who can understand and then has the fortitude to stand up and tell you, you hired me to win for America. I've got to make this decision now. This is the very best I can do, and I'm prepared to be held accountable. I'm going to tell you something. The way he handled this crisis and the way you saw him talk about it in the second and third debate showed that he will be a very, very fine decision maker working for the American people. All over the world I see this where I work now. The world is full of good, honest, smart, hard-working people with the best of intentions that cannot figure out how to turn their good ideas into real changes in other people's lives. If you have any doubt about Senator Obama's ability to be the chief executive, that's what the Constitution calls a president, just think about all of you. Look at this. Has there ever been a campaign that involved so many people, that made so much use of the internet, that thought about how to solve problems, that gave people so much opportunity to give money, to give their time, to express their opinions, to do things? He has executed this campaign in a way that is different from modern and forward-thinking, something no one else ever could have done. He can be the chief executor of good intentions. To get on the phone, I want you to stop your neighbors on the street. I want you to get on the internet and say, if you hadn't made up your mind, you ought to vote for Barack Obama. He's got the best philosophy. He's got the best positions. He definitely has the decision-making ability, and he is a great executor. Folks, we can't fool with this. Our country is hanging in the balance, and we have so much promise and so much peril. This man should be our president. All of our presidents. And he's going to be our president unless the American people forget what the election's about. This election is about restoring the American dream and giving poor people their shot at it, and restoring America's standing as the world's leading nation for peace and prosperity. Diplomacy first, military force is a last resort. Bring the troops home from Iraq, be a force for peace, and get this economy going. That's what it's about. Once you define that, there's no question. Now, I want you to think about this as I bring him on. Tuesday, we will complete the presidential campaign. The presidential campaign is the greatest job interview in the world. And on Tuesday, you get to make the hire. If you're my age, you think about your children and the grandchildren you want to have. If you're young, you think about the future you want them to have. If you're young, you think about the children you want to bring into the world and what you want for them. There's not any real question here. This is not a close question. If you make the decision based on who can best get us out of the ditch, who's got the best philosophy, the best positions, the best ability, and the best judgment, I think it's clear. The next President of the United States should be, and with your help, will be Senator